believe my growth. They see the change, the tone, but they couldn't handle that. Nope, they couldn't handle that.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this series, we're going to be going over Pluto in the houses. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the second house. So having Pluto in your second house. Now, before we get into that, I have to remind you guys to please check out my music. If you enjoyed the little snippet of music in the beginning of this video, definitely check it out. That's my new single. You can check it out here on YouTube, also Spotify and Apple Music. All you have to do is type my name, Sam Dolphin, and it'll be sure to pop up. Also, follow me on TikTok. That's at Sam_Dolphin. And then finally, you can book a reading with me at my email, samastroreadings@gmail.com, samastroreadings@gmail.com, and we could go forward with that. So getting back into Pluto, okay, Pluto in the second house. And the first thing I can say about this placement is there's a lot of, I like to say, energy vampires when it comes to your money, your finances, your possessions, your values, your resources, okay? Pluto is an energy of emotional challenge, okay? A lot of times Pluto deals with power challenges, okay? So lots of people coming in, draining you, okay? And taking things from you. People taking power over you, and basically with Pluto, your job is to take power back, okay? So there's lots of obstacles in power sense. And since we're talking about the second house is about our values, our money, our physical possessions, the materialistic world, the things that we have. So growing up, you could have dealt with a lot of people taking your things, taking your belongings, having power over your possessions, things that belong to you being taken away from other people. Okay, not feeling like you can own your own stuff, feeling like your possessions aren't your own or constantly being taken from other people. People always wanting what you have. The second house is about what we have on a physical level, our resources, our money, our food, these types of things. People always taking that from you. People always having power and control over what should be yours. This is Pluto in the second house, and dealing with this, that's why I say lots of energy vampires around your finances and money. So ownership and these things are a big deal. And with Pluto being here, so many power struggles when it comes to your finances, your possessions, what you have, like I said. So definitely something to be very aware of. And because of these struggles, this creates lots of trauma, okay? Trauma when it comes to your resources, trauma when it comes to what you have. When things are constantly being pulled from you and taken from you, it just causes a lot of distress, and it makes you it pisses people off, it makes you angry, it makes you feel like you can't have ownership of your things. And a lot of these things can happen in such traumatic ways that you will never forget, ways that scar you. Okay, and because of this, a lot of times with Pluto in the second house, people, because of all this trauma they've dealt with their possessions, with their finances, with what they have, this causes insecurity in this area, okay? So one big thing with Pluto in the second house people is that these people could be very stingy, okay? Very stingy in the sense that they're protecting what they have, okay? Growing up and dealing with so many people taking your resources, taking what you have, your money, what you own, your possessions, all these things, it makes you very protective over what you have and almost stingy. So it can cause an issue where you go all the way to the other end of the spectrum, and you become very stingy and very careful about your items and about what you have, and what you have is yours. And Pluto in second house people, they could really not like sharing their things, like what they have, because again, that trauma of having your stuff stolen, having your stuff taken, not really having true possession and power over your resources and what you have, this can cause a person to react in a very aggressive way about their things and not want to share with anyone, be very stingy about their stuff, be almost overprotective of their belongings and things, you know, having a tight grip of what they have and never wanting to share or give, or feeling trauma and insecure about giving and sharing because it feels like your stuff is being taken away. Okay, so definitely a big thing with Pluto in the second house. This can cause you to be very stingy, okay, over your stuff, over your things, okay? And even to point out, doesn't only have to be just your money and like your possessions. You got to think big too. This is the second house. This could be like your house, you know, your house going to foreclosure and losing that, like losing your house, losing your place. Like it could be as big as that. So just be mindful of that, you know, these type of traumas, you know, they could really cause major insecurities. And the second house rules all our physical security, including our house, you know. So imagine, you know, having to see your house go on foreclosure or losing your home and having to, you know, leave, and or your house being burnt down and you see all your possessions, everything that you have being burnt and lost. Like a lot of those things can happen. So it can get very traumatic, basically, is what I'm saying. It could be an event. And because Pluto is very black and white, this could be on the other spectrum, on the other end. On the other end, you can have no boundaries, okay? And people constantly taking things from you and you constantly losing stuff, okay? So that's how Pluto is. It's very black or white. You're either on one end of the spectrum of the trauma where you're very stingy and you don't want to give anything, or you're just, again, constantly losing stuff, constantly getting your stuff taken away, and constantly being powerless in this placement. So with Pluto in the second house, you definitely need to learn the balance, okay, and learn how to, you know, protect your things so you're not operating on one end of the extreme, which is, again, having no boundaries and having all your stuff constantly being taken away from you, constantly, and just dealing with this trauma, or getting so traumatized by that you're so stingy, you don't share anything, and you're very insecure when it comes to giving, and on that side. So it could be, you know, one or the other extreme. So definitely be mindful of that with Pluto in the second house. You know, you are going to go through that phase where you're very protective, very stingy over your stuff, because, again, that is part of the balance. But eventually, with Pluto in the second house people, you need to reach to a level where you can share, you can give. However, you do have a good eye on your stuff, your possessions, and you're good at protecting your stuff, okay? So that's really where you want to go, and that brings me to my point with Pluto in the second house is you want to protect your belongings. You want to protect your possessions. You don't want to be overtly stingy and insecure. However, like I said, you might have to go through that phase. And you don't want to be so giving and so sharing, okay? Because like I said, Pluto is all about emotional challenges. So, you know, you're too giving about your stuff, you're going to see your stuff being taken constantly, stolen, taken. You're going to lose a lot of things. Things are going to be destroyed that are from you. Things are going to be taken away from you. You have to have boundaries here. Pluto wants you to have boundaries here. It's almost like you have karma when it comes to your belongings, what you have, your finances. With Pluto in the second house here, it is your job and your responsibility to protect your belongings, protect your possessions, protect your money, have a good eye on it, take it seriously, because they are demons out here trying to take it. Okay, so you have to be a protector. You have to be a fighter and a protector of your money. Very important. However, balance it off and just understand if that's all you do, you should be good. You can share, you can give, but you also have to have an eye on your stuff so that you don't get taken advantage of. Because with Pluto here, there's a great chance you will. And that's because, again, this is like a karmic placement where you have to learn how to be responsible and protective over your finances and your belongings. There's a lesson that you need to learn when it comes to what you have, your belongings, your finances, you know, your resources, okay? Maybe if you believe in past lives, you could have been horrible when it came to finances, horrible when it came to possessions, too giving, not controlling your stuff, not looking out for your stuff, okay? So now you got to take this so seriously because you're going to have people challenging you to make you aware of your possessions, your resources, what you have. So take it seriously, because wherever Pluto is in your chart, it is definitely karma. negative karma, a discipline to make you understand this house. It's a serious discipline. So you got in your second house, you have a serious discipline when it comes to what you have, your possessions, your finances, your resources. So yes, protect your resources, Pluto in second house people. It is your spiritual responsibility. Also, with Pluto in the with Pluto in the second house, sex is a very big deal here when it comes to finances, okay? Now, Pluto does rule sex in the most deepest way. This is about bonds and soul bonds, and this can also be about power struggles too. Okay, this is one of the deepest ways in we connect with sex, emotional, soulful, power plays as well. So when you have this in the second house, sex could be a huge vehicle in terms of how you make money. Okay, so yes, sexual topics, sexual energy, sex in general could be a way for you to gain resources, to gain money. Okay, so that's definitely something to look at. And again, since we're talking about Pluto, Pluto rules sex in the most deepest level. So it doesn't just have to be literally sex, like the action of it, but it could be topics that deal with sex, jobs that deal with sexual energy in any way. So maybe you're a sex educator. Okay, maybe you're just working in a job that deals with sex. It's not necessarily you being in the action of it. But sex is definitely a huge way to tap into money. Now, be careful with this because, again, this is Pluto. So Pluto deals with, these emotional power struggles and discipline. So, people with Pluto in the second house, again, it could go into sex work, which, of course, is nothing I would promote. Because I feel like sex is very deep, and to put it into work form, that could be a lot of energy. That could take a lot of toll on a human being because, again, like I said, sex is deep and it's a lot of soul bonding and attaching your soul to so many different people because you're just doing it as a form of work can be draining on the soul and spirit. So you have to be careful of this because, yes, you can make lots of money through sex with Pluto in the second house, but it could be to your detriment. So you could be losing a lot of energy, feeling drained, making money, getting into sex work. So definitely be mindful of that. There's a huge energy with sex and money. And it could be, again, approached in many different ways. It doesn't have to be like you're active in sex. It could be like what you do for money is in the topic of sex. So definitely a huge thing when it comes to Pluto in the second house. It's all about power when it comes to Pluto. So if you are in the power, then you can control the situation. But like I said, you could also be the victim and be the one getting power over. So you using sex for money could be a horrible experience for you because people are constantly taking advantage of you for money. It could put you in situations that are very dark. Like I said, Pluto's a very dark house. Sex could be a very dark experience. So be very careful about that with the sex and the work. Or you could be the person in control and in power, causing a lot of damage to other people. Whatever it is, it can manifest in many different ways. But yes, Pluto in the second house is definitely a sex money house. But like I said, be very mindful of how you approach it and make sure you're the person in power when you're mixing these two energies. Also, with Pluto in the second house, okay, this is powerful money. And what I mean by that is, yes, Pluto takes so much from you. It challenges you. It takes things away from you in the house that it's in. But this is all to strengthen you, to empower you. Okay, the whole point of Pluto is to get over these obstacles. Saturn and Pluto, they work the same way in terms of they put obstacles in front of you. Pluto deals within a very spiritual, emotional level. But when Pluto is taking all your money, it's to get you upset. It's to get you aware of your money. This isn't just happening to you just for the sake of ruining your life and your finances. It's to make you disciplined about your money and serious about it so that you can take power. And the potential to make lots of money in this placement is so strong. Pluto in the second house, eventually these people can make so much money. Okay, why? Because they're so passionate and ambitious about their belongings. They're so protective. They've had it taken away from them so many times. Pluto in second house people, you could deal with poverty too, a lack of resources, a struggle. So because you're having your resources, your finances, your money, your possessions being taken away from you so many times, you begin to get angry. Remember, Pluto deals with lots of passion. You get angry about your possessions and you want to control them. So that gives you a certain drive, and that drive is going to push you to make lots of money because you're so passionate about it. You want money and you want to keep it, and you're tired of it constantly being taken away from you. So that's going to cause you to have a drive that's going to make you go out for money and really get the best money you can get. And that's why I say Pluto in the second house people, once they mature from the trauma, they become very driven to make money. These people can make lots of money, have a passion to make lots of money. They take their money seriously. So be very aware of that there is a huge potential to make lots of money with this placement. You're not just being triggered with your finances for no reason. This is to trigger you to be super passionate about your money and go out there and make the most money and protect the most and protect it as well too. Okay, because you can make money with this placement, but you also have to protect it. So Pluto in the second house people, this is a great placement to get your power back with your finances. Once you get older, okay, you start reaching more mature, you get into your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, you're gonna be, you have so much potential to make so much money because of all the lessons you learn about your finances, what you have, and the passion and drive you have to retake those back and to own it and to gain it. You know, Pluto in second house people, they could just, you know, hate poverty, hate not having everything because of what they had to go through. So and again, like there's so much drive with this. Like you're gonna want it a lot more than anybody else. You know, everyone else, you know, they can have it, you know, and really enjoy it and love it. But with Pluto here, you have the drive to really go for that money and protect it and save it. So Pluto, wherever Pluto is in your placements, it could be a strong passion, a strong drive. You know, so your ambition for money is strong, and these people are go-getters for money. Okay, Pluto is the placement where you take your power back, okay? It could be where you have no power or where you have all the power. And if you're on the side where you have all the power, in the second house, then that means you got all the money, you're getting all the stuff, all the materialistic things. So definitely important to know, you guys, this is not just the dead, it's not just the dead in here with Pluto. The whole purpose of this discipline is for you to take back your power, and you take back your power in the most powerful way. So lots of money to be made with this placement. These people are driven and very passionate to make money. Also, with this drive to make money, there could be an obsession, okay, with the materialistic world, okay? So Pluto in second house people, they can be very obsessed with materials. Let me get the new designer bag or the new designer shoes or the new Jordans, or, you know, very driven to have nice things, very driven to have money, obsessed with money, always obsessed with making money. Like, I gotta have money. Like, again, like, yes, you can make lots of money, but it could drive you to obsession. So these people could be, again, very passionate about money, very passionate about the materialistic world. They just gotta have the new Jordans. They gotta have the new designer this, the new designer that. Or they really want the nice things in life, the nice materials, just the sake of having it. You know, so this placement can also cause an obsession with money and the materialistic world. So definitely be mindful of that. So with this placement, you can have a very deep connection with your materials, with objects, okay? With the materialistic world. The things that you have, the things that you own, I don't care if it's picture frames, your clothing, your furniture in your house, your car, whatever it is that you own and have, your possessions, you can have a deep connection with them. And this is because, again, with Pluto in the second house, you could have dealt with so many things being taken away from you, your possessions, what you have, your resources being taken away from you, that when you finally have your stuff, okay, These people are very protective and passionate over it. It's like, I have it, I gotta have it. You have a strong grip over the things you have. This is mine. So your relationship with your objects, with your possessions, could be a very passionate one, very strong one. So a nice little fun fact to know about Pluto in the second house. So yes, that is Pluto in the second house, a very interesting placement, okay? Again, a lot of your things could be taken away from you, but the whole point of this is for you to get power back from your materials, okay? And to have this power back and to have this discipline with it. So don't be discouraged. You have so much potential to be rich and make lots of money, but be mindful of your stuff, protect your stuff, and get that power back. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, book a reading with me. I do astro and tarot readings. All you have to do is email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com, and we could go forward with that. Also, check out my videos, check out my music, check out all my little fun stuff. All of the links will be in the description box below, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.